You're listening to The Practical Vegan Mom. That's me, Jessica Jarmer. Join me as I speak with host of the Whole Truth podcast, John Levine, about the effects of health coaching in type 2 diabetes. With health coaching, I specialize in type 2 diabetes and actually in reversing the situation rather than just living with it. But I thought, what specific condition can I work well with to fix? Not make a little better. What can I fix? And type 2 diabetes is something that I can fix. And I decided, because I've watched too many people in my life
do me
deal
a favor,
with
say that one more time.
Type 2 diabetes is completely reversible.
Jessica Jarmer can reverse type 2 diabetes
That I can.
with her health coaching.
That I can.
See that?
Here's another point. If you listen to me, because I can coach you, but another point is you have to follow, which once you do, it's a game changer. I dropped people's cholesterol. I dropped their A1C, which is, their, I always tell people the A1C is, let's say you go to, with kids, when they bring their spelling test home, they can get 100 on their spelling test, and you're like, oh, this is great. And then you get the report card and they failed spelling. Well, your A1C is like your report card for your sugar. So you can have a good reading one day and you think, oh, I'm great. But what the A1C is an average of 3 months of your sugar. So I can drop your A1C significantly.
Welcome, everyone, to the Whole Truth podcast with John Levine, brought to you by Dean's Natural Food Markets, with 4 locations in Shrewsbury, Ocean, Basking Ridge, and Chester. And Jessica Jarmer, she's here, and she's a plant-based health and wellness expert. She's a health coach and performs cooking classes at none other than Dean's, which is where we are right now. What's up, sweetheart? How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing good. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know about that, but...
I know about that.
Oh, well, thank you. You look great, too.
Oh, thank you. So
We're hanging pretty good for our age, let's say that.
You know what? Think positive.
Yeah.
We're young.
We are.
Yeah, you're 25, I'm 44.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. So you're a health coach. You're a health coach.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into health coaching, because I'm a health coach, too.
I know.
And we went to the same place, didn't we?
We certainly did.
And where was that?
That was IIN in New York City.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
It was a great experience. It definitely opened my mind. It made me believe in myself and feel that what I had to offer was worth it. And it gave me confidence going there.
You know what's funny? I signed up for IIN to get more information. I've been pretty knowledgeable. We live a very holistic lifestyle and healthy. I've always been into sports. But, I agree, because as going through it, I realized the value of a health coach. I didn't know what a health coach was before it. I decided to go a different route by doing the podcast to inspire people to live healthier and happier lives. But essentially, I'm a health coach. But I realize now how valuable it is. And it's no joke, because, the doctors, unfortunately, it's not their fault, but they're stuck in a situation where they don't have much time.
They don't.
They are put in a system where it's bang, bang, bang. The health insurance companies say you have to see a certain amount of patients. They're stressed out. The people in the waiting room are stressed out. But the health coach, now we're talking, because the health coach, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they sit down with you.
Yes, they do.
They actually go over things, and it's like a good hour. Like with your clients, how long do you spend time with them?
The initial visit is about 30 minutes, and then each coaching session is an hour. And what I do most of the time is let them talk. Once they talk, it's amazing what comes out. And you find the root of the illness. You find out the reason that they're eating, why they're eating, or what they're eating. And the best part is, this is always my favorite, they're going to deny that they're eating something. And then as you start talking, you're like, and they realize themselves where things have crept into their diet that they normally would have gone to the doctor and said, nope, not eating that. And the doctor would have checked it off. Okay. You're like, not eating it, and moved on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's really, really important. A health coach is really, really important, and it's one of the things I had a choice to have 3 people at Dean's today for our show, and I picked them wisely. They were all good choices, and you were one of them because I talked to you on the phone and we jived well together. But it was also, I want people to understand the value of a health coach. It always comes down to speed. So the way we live in this country, everything's fast food, fast medicine,
Absolutely.
fast this, fast that. I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to use my teeth. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. You know, if you don't have time for that, you have time to die. And that's very
correct.
harsh, but you know what? If you don't have time to exercise, you have time to die. If you don't have time to meditate, you know, you have time to be stressed out, and then you could die. And that's very harsh.
That is
And
so
I'm
true.
ju-
That just spoke to me. I think I need to start meditating.
So guess what? You better make time because you have. There's no getting around that. So we're human beings are made to struggle. We're made to be, you know, organic food. It's hard. The bugs eat it. You know, you can't spray it. You gotta. Oh man! By the time you get the organic food, it's so much work. But then you're so grateful that you
Yeah.
eat it. So my point is this: it's so fast. But when you sit down with a client, and I'll let you speak, I gotta shut up.
No. You keep talking. Go ahead. I'm fine. I'm fine. This is all-
I gotta shut up, right?
No,
I
it's all
gotta.
right. It's
No,
all
this
good.
is
It's
too
all
much.
good. No, we're both the
You're-
same person. So once I start, I won't let you in. So it's all good.
All right, I'll finish up and then.
No,
and then
I
you're
like
on.
listening. I like hearing
I'm rambling
how
on
you
and on.
came to this. Go
I'm
ahead.
passionate about it, but it's just the time, as you know. So you really get to know the person,
Right.
Like let's say it's Mary Jane Smith, and then it's funny because like after a while, and I learned this as well, they figure it out as they talk.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes in, or the next time they're meeting with you, they realize themselves, oh wow,
Right.
I'm not sleeping enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or wow, like my husband's an ass. Or wow, like my wife is a
Hilarious.
real
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
I promised Dean Nelson that I wouldn't curse.
Well, you didn't. You just spelled. That's fine.
So Dean, if you're listening to this, I didn't curse. I spelled it out. bitch. Am
I'll
I
have
good
to
with
remember
that?
that too. Okay.
Okay,
Gotta watch
I got
what
thumbs
say.
up from Ming. So anyway, I'll zip it. So what do you think about what do you specialize with the health coaching?
With health coaching, I specialize in type 2 diabetes and actually in reversing the situation rather than just living with it. So it came to me a number of years ago where, on IIN they talked, what's your specialty going to be? And like you said, you chose the podcast. With my situation, I sat and thought for a long time, and I'm like, oh, plant-based cooking, because that was my passion. And I had been eating a plant-based diet for many, many, many years at that point. But I thought, what specific condition can I work well with to fix? Not make a little better. What can I fix? And
Right.
type 2 diabetes is something that I can fix. And I decided, because I've watched too many people in my life
Do me
deal
a
with
favor,
this.
say that one more time.
See, now I don't even...
Type 2 diabetes.
Type 2 diabetes is reversible? Is that what you wanted me to say?
I want you to say it again.
Type 2 diabetes is completely reversible.
Jessica Jarmer can reverse type 2 diabetes
That I can.
with her health coaching.
That I can.
See that?
Here's another point. If you listen to me, because I can coach you, but another point is you have to follow, which once you do, it's a game changer. I drop people's cholesterol. I dropped their A1C, which is, their, I always tell people the A1C is, let's say you go to, with kids, when they bring their spelling test home,
Yeah.
they can get 100 on their spelling test, and you're like, oh, this is great. And then you get the report card and they failed spelling. Well, your A1C is like your report card for your sugar. So
Right.
you can have a good reading one day and you think, oh, I'm great. But what the A1C is an average of 3 months of your sugar. So I can drop your A1C significantly. And if you follow a plant-based diet and you work with me with coaching, everything starts working better in your body. You put yourself at such a great risk when you develop type 2 diabetes. And here's the thing that always gets me. What really gets me is people say, well, my father had it. My mother had it. I was going to get it. You weren't going to get it. You ate in such a way that lined you up to get it.
Right.
know.
So there's certain genetics that do play, well, let's call it
Yes.
20% a part, right?
Yeah, well, it's going to play a part, but the situation comes down to this. What do they say? It's like a grain of rice or something, right? Laying on dry ground. The grain is there. It has potential for growth, but you don't water it.
Right.
Once you water it, yeah, it's going to grow.
Right. Well, just like any disease, if you feed your
Right.
body the food that it really wants, or
Right.
you feed it like lots of sugar, it's like the good versus the bad.
Yeah, well, they found out when in Japan that most of the people were predisposed to type 2 diabetes through genetics.
Right.
But they weren't seeing type 2 diabetes until the Western diet came in.
Oh, is that? Oh, no,
and then it exploded over
shocked.
there.
I'm
Yeah,
shocked. I cannot believe it.
Right,
Really?
Standard American diet, SAD, SAD, yes.
Well, my wife's from Poland, by the way, and I always bring that up, just not that, she's from Poland, but it's Europe. And, I see the Polish people that come over, things go downhill.
Oh, absolutely. When they go from traditional foods to our diet, yeah.
Downhill. So that's our job, Jessica. Mm-hmm. That's our job. I always have different guests on, but our job together is to inspire people to do it without being like obnoxious. I want to. I really do want to give people some inspiration to say, "Hey, you can do it."
Right.
I know it's easy. It's the easy stuff. It's easy to eat cookies and watch TV and not exercise, but it is worth it. Because it's so funny. Like once you get over that hurdle.
Right.
Once your taste buds change and you start eating dark leafy greens and you start exercising, your body really responds. As you know.
Your body wants to be healthy. It's created to be healthy.
Yeah.
It's when disease overtakes the ability to heal, when you're just doing so much that the body just can't keep up, is when disease takes over.
Correct.
And you just, when you give your body the right stuff, it functions properly. I always tell people, like with their cars, everybody loves their cars and they're always careful about, getting the oil changed and taking care of it and they're putting the right gas in it. Well, people don't care about what they put in their body. They don't think of themselves as a machine.
Unfortunately, they do. It usually happens when they get sick. Unfortunately,
right.
Is when they start to realize, I better change things.
Yeah, but if you put sugar in your gas tank, your car's not going to run.
No.
And if you put garbage into you, you're not going to run properly either. But no one has. It's making that connection that's important. Like you just said, if you don't have time to exercise, you have time to die. My thing is, if you don't,
that was really harsh, wasn't it?
No, I like it though. It's very powerful. Sometimes you need powerful statements. And this is what I feel about cooking. A lot of people will say to me, "You cook dinner for your family every night?" Yeah, I cook dinner. Well, let's say 9 times out of 10, I cook dinner for my family. Sometimes we have to get out, takeout, but most of the time I cook dinner for my family. And my thought is exactly yours, like you said, with exercise. Mine is with cooking as well. If you don't have time to cook, then you do. You have time to die. If you want to restore your health, you need to learn to provide food for yourself.
Real food.
Real food. And you know what? If you think back, and this is always my thought, years ago when man was roaming the earth, almost everything was about food. Everything was about getting food, storing food, finding food.
Struggling to find the food.
Struggling to find food.
Struggling to find the food.
Now it's so readily available that food has become secondary to us, maybe even beyond secondary.
Too easy.
Too easy. So now people don't know how to take this food that's in front of them and create meals from it and keep their family healthy. And you know what? Keep their family happy, because when you eat well, you have energy and you're happy.
The nice thing about you is that when we talked on the phone, and this is what I think is also important, what I'm doing here with the podcast, so we're like-minded individuals, but I always want to have people on who are truly passionate. Truly there's an underlying reason that they're doing what they're doing, and they just really are passionate about it. That's so important, because it's always about the teacher. I think it's always about the teacher. Is that teacher or that coach, do they want to be there? Do they want to be doing it? So the nice thing about, a health coach, but it's not just a health coach, it's Jessica Jarmer. I'm going to give you a plug. It's Jessica Jarmer as a health coach. Because,
Thank you.
Because it's like, I'm sure someone who comes in to see you, they know that you care.
I absolutely care. I check in with them. I recently at Christmas time had a past client text me a picture of their new grandbaby, and I know how long they waited for that grandbaby, and I just cried looking at that picture, because they become part of your family. Yeah,
you care, and when people know that there's someone who cares about them, they want to do better, because they're held accountable.
Well, what do they say? People work for praises more than raises. So
true.
Yeah, it's so true. So when you remind people of their value and you show them how to make themselves healthier and happier, and then you encourage them along the way versus knocking them down, then because as you know, when people start diets, no one wants to see somebody else start a diet. I don't know what that is, but nobody else wants to see somebody else get healthy.
Oh, really?
I don't know why that is. People like
I want to see them get healthy.
I want to see them get healthy.
I want to
too.
see everyone get healthy.
But the average person will be like, "Why are you doing that? That's bad." You know,
because they want it. Well,
because people don't want to change their diet. They want to eat for their taste buds. They don't want to make the connection, and they don't want to see someone else do it, because when somebody else does this, I don't know if you notice this, but if you're that person in the room who's eating well, you'll be the one that everybody looks at and makes comments.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Yeah. I do. Because I always say this, if I had a dime for every time someone asked me something or told me something, we'd be doing this podcast on a yacht right now.
But that's good. You know why? Because they see you eating maybe broccoli or whatever you're eating, and then, you know what? Maybe that will inspire them. I went to a party around Christmas time, and I ate pretty well. I never tell people what to eat. I never tell people what to eat. I just do what I do, and I eat a certain way. I do what works for me. But you're right. I don't say a word, but people will come over to me, and they're like, whoa. You know, you eat, like, I'll have a salad, like when sports are going on in the fall. It's soccer and football. And I'll go get a salad in between games. And I'll sit there on the soccer field eating the salad. And hey, Nikki Yelton. We got Nikki Yelton coming up next.
Oh, that's excellent.
Do you know Jessica Jarmer?
Hi, how are you?
It's all good. Come on in here. How are you? Do you know Jessica?
Nice to meet you. Hi, how are you?
This is my next guest. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. And do you know Ming? Yeah, Ming's the man. He's got the podcast studio. Let's give it a plug. A-Share Universe Podcast Studio, which is where I do the Whole Truth podcast.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It is very cool.
So we're doing great. Hey, by the way, since you're here, you can go get a juice. There's $1 off if you subscribe to the Whole Truth podcast. There you go. See that? You just gotta roll with it. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. Nikki, man, you just messed me up. I lost my train of thought. Now I'm going to blame her.
You're asking the wrong person. I can't follow things anymore. But
you can. Yeah, you
can.
All
right. So we're talking about. Let's get back to why it's important to eat healthy. Basically, we want to live long, healthy lives and be strong and be here for our kids and set examples. We set examples in other things we do, but I think one of the most important things we can do for our families is show them how to eat. And like you said, in between the sporting events, God, you go to those concession stands, there's nothing you can eat. You know where else there's nothing you can eat? At a hospital. Go to a hospital.
I don't want to.
No.
You go to a hospital.
If I visit people there and I go down to get something, I can have water. I can have some tea, but there really is no food that's edible in a hospital.
We're changing things here.
Yeah, and if you watch what they bring the patients, you think to yourself, wow, this is like a self-perpetuating business.
If you educate a person and you inspire a person, you will make and create change. That is what my mission is with this Whole Truth podcast. I know that's what your mission is.
Absolutely.
We will educate and inspire, and let's not get there in the first place. You don't need to be if you get hit by a bus, you go to the hospital. Please. I'm saying go to the hospital. And then
you have a friend bring food in for you.
Right. Well, you know what? If the hospitals realize and the doctors realize that things are changing, and let's say now 7 out of 10 people come into the doctor and they say, hey, I don't want that medicine. Something's going to have to change. Things will have to, and and let's be positive, because you know what? 10, 15 years ago, I never heard the word organic. And 10, 15 years ago, if you went to a regular supermarket, a regular one, you never saw organic food. You never saw healthy sections. I didn't see it. Now you do, a little bit. So we're getting there.
Yeah, I have to say, I started this a long time ago. I started when I was about 20, 21, eating this way. I saw somebody recover from cancer, and I thought, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I remember coming to Dean's. It must have been right around the time it first opened, and there was an old beat-up pickup truck outside, and it had a bumper sticker on it, and it was probably one of the most powerful things I ever saw, and it said, pesticides don't know when to stop killing.
No, they don't.
And that was about 20 years ago. So I remember having a hard time eating. I used to have to mail order my food, or I would come here, and that's how I would eat. It wasn't so readily available. Now you go into any Mega Mart, and it's just as many refrigerated sections of plant-based milk
Yeah.
as there is conventional milk.
Yeah, so my point is we're getting there.
We're getting there.
So instead of the whole doom and gloom, hospitals stink,
Right.
this is that, we are getting there. Slowly, change takes time, but things are moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to help speed up that process. So how do you hold your clients accountable?
They have to check in with me every 2 weeks. So we have sessions every 2 weeks. They're allowed to text or email in between. If they need a phone call in between, I'll reach out to them. They'll email me for a phone call. And I also take them shopping if they need to.
Oh, really?
So it's not like I'm sending them to the store and they don't know what I'm talking about. I'll send them to the store and I'll meet them there.
Yeah.
And I'll say, all right, let's walk around. Let me show you what to do.
Yeah, because it could be. I guess it could be intimidating if you've never been to.
It can be intimidating, yeah.
Yeah.
And and some of and I try and give them very basic recipes, because
Right.
when you start out with elaborate recipes, people don't want that. They get overwhelmed. They get
Yeah.
intimidated. Go back to fruits and vegetables and nuts and grains and beans, and they know how to do that, or at least it's foolproof. They can figure it out. We're not braising. We're not so. It's just so simple.
That's a perfect segue. So, again, let me just say that health coaching is a really big deal. I know that, doctor knows best, and I don't believe that anymore. I think health coaching is vitally important. Where can people find you? Is it jessicajarmer.com?
Yep, they can go to jessicajarmer.com or plantbasedlife.com, and they can book an appointment right online. The initial consultation is free, and then I work with people if based on what they can pay. So I'm not unreasonable with all that. My joy is seeing someone succeed and get healthy, and that's my whole goal.
That's why you're here, babe.
That's awesome.
That's
Thank
why
you.
you're here.
Yeah.
So you also do plant-based cooking
I do.
demonstrations
I
at
do.
Dean's Market.
I do.
Which
yes,
is
at all
where
of their
we are.
locations. Yeah.
And I'm not just, by the way, for those who aren't in the area and who are watching on YouTube and listening on SoundCloud and iTunes, this is not just, hey, let me see if I can get into Dean's Market. This is important. I've been shopping at Dean's Market for 15 years, probably longer, ever since it opened. That's where
Yeah, me too.
I get receipts from my wife every day. I mean, every day. And that's how I know Dean Nelson. And that's why, naturally, when I decided to do a podcast, I'm like, I have got to reach out to him.
Right.
We've got to work together. So this is, I always want to remind my listeners and my viewers that the genesis of this is not like, hey, as a paid sponsor. Like, no, I'm on board with this.
Yeah.
This man cares. You care. This is real stuff. No joke.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
actually,
going.
no.
I'm going
I said
to,
no.
So too bad. Here we go.
It's my show. I said no.
I know, and
Go
I'm on
ahead.
it. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So years ago, when I decided to change my diet, whatever, and I was eating this way, I was like that, the person at the table that no one knew what to do with, and I was also at the time giving advice on how to eat that no one wanted to hear.
Right.
Now I don't do that, but I decided, let me go back to school and get some backing, which is why I went to IIN. I also went to culinary school, and then I went and got certified in plant-based nutrition. And at the time, I ran into Dean here, and he said, "Are you done with all your schools yet?" I said, I'm almost done. He goes, "Well, tell me when you are, and then I want you to start coming here and teaching cooking classes."
Yeah, he's great.
And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do that. But now it's been so many years, and every few months I'm here, I'm teaching cooking classes. I have people that, come religiously to the events, and they've become family now. It's wonderful. Yeah,
no,
so
I agree.
this store means a great deal to me
Yeah,
also.
absolutely. So, all right, football's coming up.
Yes, it is.
The Super
Well,
Bowl's
not
coming
for the
up.
Jets and the Giants, but yes, Super Bowl
I
is coming up.
I'm a Jets fan, so don't depress me.
I'm not.
This is going to go south real quick
That's
if you
okay.
start
Go
talking
ahead.
about that. So, what can people eat that are good, healthy choice, good, healthy substitutions? And what do you cook? Like plant-based foods? What are simple, right? And good.
Simple
and good.
plant-based food. So I'm thinking that in my class next week, what I'd like to do is portobello cheesesteaks.
All right, portobello
Because-
cheesesteaks.
Not that I'm giving a shout out to the cheesesteak area, but I'm just saying,
All right, what is it? What's in it? How do you make it?
Just kidding. It's portobellos, and we're going to simmer it in some broth, or we're going to bake it first, and then maybe simmer it in some broth, saute it with onions and peppers, and then make a cheese sauce out of cashews.
Cashew cheese sauce.
In fact, cashews is my primary cheese. I'll either use cashews rather or potatoes for cheese, and that's
What about
it.
nutritional yeast?
I love nutritional yeast. If a recipe calls for nutritional yeast, I automatically love it.
There is some. I'm telling you, I used to be a huge cheese fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat cheese anymore, and I'm not telling people not to eat cheese. I'm not telling you not to eat
gonna
cheese.
remain quiet.
I'm just saying that if you have a problem with dairy and you want some substitutions, which I do, I have a problem with dairy.
Which is can I step in? That's actually a natural part of being a person. You naturally lose the ability to digest dairy. You should naturally lose the ability.
I would blow every sign off of this store if you gave me one sip of dairy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's
And
that's
would
a
be,
natural
you would look like
reaction.
Dr. Evil.
No, that's
I mean,
a
it would
natural
be
reaction.
terrible.
That should happen, in my mind, because once you
It would happen. But anyway, going back to the cashew cheese and the nutritional yeast as cheese, it's good.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it.
It's so good. It's so good, and
You've
it's so
gotta
easy.
try it.
And everybody thinks it's too much time. You got to soak the
No,
cashews. You don't. You just go get yourself a NutriBullet. You don't even need a Vitamix. I do love Vitamix, but get yourself a NutriBullet, and you can have cashew cheese in minutes. You don't have to remember to soak the nuts. You don't have to remember anything. Just have them on hand, and it's so simple.
Are you being fresh?
I am not being fresh. I know. As soon as that came out, I thought the same thing, but I was trying to move past.
You're watch what you say.
I know.
I soak my nuts, by the way. I'm 44 years old. I have kids who probably don't soak their nuts every day.
No,
but,
you can't. You can't.
But I do.
That's-
I clean it with an all-natural soap.
That's
Well, you brought it up, so now I'm going to just roll it. Yeah, I do. I do I clean other things too. But
well, yeah. See, I just use coconut oil. Coconut oil is a good cleaner. Okay.
to clean your nuts.
Well, I don't. Well, no.
Marcy Reagan
Wow,
started
this
this.
is like-
Remember,
this is-
2 months
I don't even
ago,
know where to
the
go
whole
with
nut
this.
thing. But I just go with it. It's always nuts. Nuts.
So back
Brazil
to the
nuts.
cashew
I'm not
nuts.
Brazil.
I don't
I
do
have Jewish
Brazil
nuts. I have Jewish nuts. There's Brazil nuts. There's walnuts. There's Jewish nuts.
There's cashews.
I soak my Jewish nuts with. All right, that's enough.
With
That's enough.
soap. Okay, so back to my.
Cut it out.
My
Cut it out. You're fresh.
You started. So back to the cashews. You don't have to soak them, and you can. Now I can't say it without laughing. And you can put them in a NutriBullet, and you can have cheese in minutes, and you can heat it up and make it the consistency of almost Velveeta, which people used to love. And
How long does it take to make this
Cashew.
entire dish? The portobello cheesesteak.
Well, probably a half hour. I would bake the portobello, and if you want to simmer it in some broth at the end, you can. You don't even have to do that. And then the peppers and onions, and this is from putting it in the oven to eating it about a half hour.
It's not too bad.
Well, it's not bad at all.
No,
and
not bad
that's
at all.
what it should take for meal prep.
Yeah, but that's a whole meal.
It's a whole meal.
Like,
Correct.
but there doesn't need to be anything else.
No, there doesn't
So, like,
have
that's
to be
dinner
anything
right
else.
there.
That's dinner.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. So that's no big deal.
It's so easy to
And
do.
it tastes good. I've had it.
It tastes great.
I've had something similar. I don't know if I had exactly that, but that's how we
Mm-hmm.
eat. So, all right. So what else? So that's one. And they can also go and you cook. You cook this and you do these at Dean's, right?
Well, yes, my cooking classes, there'll be one, hold on, I'm looking right here, on January 23rd here in Ocean, a Super Bowl tailgate class.
Oh, there you go.
And there'll be one on the 22nd in Chester
Ah, perfect.
at 6 o'clock also, and it'll be
there you go.
a tailgate class. It'll be great. And so what I don't know if I also told you this, but all during football season, I cook for a tailgate that's up at MetLife Stadium. So I do the vegan component for it.
Oh, you didn't tell me. That's really cool.
So it's fun. So whatever the opposing team is, in this case, let's say they're playing the Eagles, right? So the specialty of Philly is Philly cheesesteaks. So they'll
Oh.
have Philly cheesesteaks, and I'll make the vegan version.
That is really super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, when they play the Bengals, not that they play the Bengals at home, I don't think this year, but I would do like the Cincinnati chili, 5-way Cincinnati chili, but
Do
vegan.
they like chili and Cincy?
Yeah,
in
well, you
Ohio?
should look it up. The 5-way Cincinnati chili. It's very good. They
Yeah?
cook it with chocolate and
Ooh.
cinnamon. Oh my goodness!
Ming, you know that?
And it, yeah,
It's good.
and it goes on top of pasta with. It's really good with onions and. You can make a cashew cheese on that. I do bend the rules on that. I put oyster crackers on top because
Oh, I
that's
like
how
it.
it's served traditionally.
All right.
Yeah, but
Are you
that's
ready
what
for,
we do.
Are you ready for a little test?
Oh,
always like
I
to
am.
play-
Oh,
play
I'll
little
try.
games.
Go ahead.
This is the fruits or vegetables test.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
will tell you what it is, and you need to tell me it's a fruit or it's a vegetable. Mm-hmm. If you get it wrong, you have to do the Whole Truth podcast jumping jack.
Oh,
which
come on.
means
You know I'm not standing up and doing this.
oh, you were doing it.
Oh, please, I hope I get
Yes.
it right. Go ahead.
Yes. So, you better get it right.
I hope I get
I'm
it right.
holding you accountable right now.
Oh,
I
there's
did,
nothing
I
else.
did kind of warn you. You don't want to do the
I
jumping jack?
don't remember the jumping jack being part of it.
You want to do push-ups
No.
or a
let's go back
plank? Or a
to-
plank?
I could do a plank. All right,
All
we'll
right,
see.
we're gonna.
Let's
All
see
right,
how
I'll
this
tell you
goes.
what. I will give you the
Let's
option.
hope we don't get to that. I hope I know my fruits and vegetables. Go ahead.
It could be jumping jacks. It can be a push-ups. It could be push-ups, or it could be a plank. I will give you the choice.
Probably a plank that's less stuff to
The pressure is
jump
on.
around in front of a camera. Go ahead.
Um,
All right, I'm ready.
all right, you got it. All right, this is an easy one. Tomato, fruit or vegetable?
It is a fruit.
All right, that's one right. For everyone you get wrong, you decided on what? A push-up? No,
Oh, come on.
the plank.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding you. Absolutely, and I'll do them too.
I know, but clearly you do a lot more than I do.
No, you look great.
Oh, keep going.
No, that's it. I'm holding you accountable. Like your
Keep
health
going.
coaching,
Oh.
you hold your clients accountable
Then
to eat right.
let me
I'm
tell
holding you
If I
accountable.
had a client, I would make do
All
a
right,
plank. I don't
string
know.
beans. String beans.
Is a vegetable.
It is not a vegetable.
Who decides that? Who
String beans
decides-
are actually a fruit.
Well,
I googled it,
and Google
and Dr.
must know.
Google is always right. So I'm saying that you're wrong.
Ah.
So that's one wrong.
Ming,
So
can you
that's a
look that up?
20-second plank.
20 seconds.
But you can add on. So avocado, fruit or vegetable?
It is a fruit.
It's a fruit. Okay, you're good there.
Do you know that all avocados, by the way, all Hass avocados are, what is the word, when they take the piece of the branch and they graft it, are all grafted off the original same tree?
I did not know that.
Because if you try and take an avocado and grow it, you're never going to get a fruit out of it.
Really?
And if you do, it's not going to look anything like Hass avocados.
That's cool.
The original
Don't
tree now is
distract
dying.
me from
Oh,
what we're
darn
trying
it.
to do
Okay.
here, because I know what you're trying to do.
Okay.
Olives.
Olives are a fruit?
They are a fruit.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. You got that one. That was good. Bell peppers.
I so
Bell
wanna
peppers.
Well, what determines a fruit or a vegetable? See
Bell peppers.
where it's kept in the store. No,
Fruit or vegetable? Jessica Jarmer.
oh,
Bell.
I know I can't do
peppers.
a 40-second plank, so let's
Come
see.
on.
Fruit.
It is a fruit. I'm proud of you. That's pretty good. Okay, beets.
That's a vegetable.
That is a vegetable.
Yes.
Broccoli.
Is a vegetable.
That was an easy one. You got it. Peas.
Fruit.
Man.
Well, I see where you're going with this now.
Not bad. Peas are actually a fruit. Mm-hmm. Isn't that
I'm
unbelievable?
kicking myself now that I'm thinking of the
Bok
green.
choy.
Bok choy is a vegetable.
Bok choy is a vegetable. That was 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that was 9. You only got one wrong.
I know. Let's negotiate that 20-second plank.
No.
Let's-
That was 8 out of 9 correct. That was pretty impressive. And I tried to
Okay.
trick you a little bit.
Okay.
And a 20-second plank is no big deal.
I know, but it doesn't have to be on this camera. Or can I tell you I did it?
I don't know, Ming. What do you think? I mean, I don't want to put you in a bad spot. You look good.
I don't think I want
How
to be
about
on
an
the
arm
floor
wrestle?
at Dean's. No.
No?
So tell me
All right, fine.
Okay.
Next time.
next time.
Next time.
Next
I'm
time. Are
gonna
you
let-
coming to my cooking class?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to try.
Okay. I'll make a deal with you. I will do a 20-second plank at my cooking class if you come.
So you get prepared a little bit.
Yes.
I kind of put you on the spot a little
Yes.
bit.
I don't think I'm dressed for a 20-second plank right now, but that's okay. But I will be in tailgate attire.
Women, the jumping jacks could be a problem when you ask women to do jumping
I
jacks.
definitely agree with that. There's no
If they-
no good thing about jumping jacks.
But if you're
right
wearing
now.
a good bra, you'll be all right, won't you?
I don't know. I think you get to a certain age, it's not good, but that's all right. It's never good. It's never good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to get hit in the chin with your own boobs, but
No, you don't.
no. Just-
No, you don't. So that's why you opt for the plank.
That's not a curse, Dean. Boobs are not a curse, right?
They're a part of life.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, you owe me a 20-second plank.
All
and
right.
and
so you come to my cooking class. I'll do a
I
20-second
will.
plank before I start
and
my
you
class.
could do it. So, what is your favorite thing? If you could just make something for yourself, what would it be? And how do you make it? What are the ingredients? All that good
Oh.
stuff. Like you could eat like one
Anything?
thing right now. Like what would it be?
Can I just tell you what I make, like my go-to all the time?
Sure.
Okay. So, and my kids make this too. We take broccoli and cauliflower and cook them in a vegetable broth with garlic.
broccoli, cauliflower.
In a vegetable broth with garlic.
Ooh, that
And then
sounds
I
good.
take cashews, nutritional yeast, and I put them in a blender with water. And I just pour that in, and it thickens up to a cream sauce.
I like that.
And they'll have that. They'll either put it over rice or pasta, or they'll just eat it as is.
That sounds
And
good.
it's so simple and so fast. In fact, my daughter calls it the creamy broccoli stuff.
The creamy
She's
broccoli
like, "Can we
stuff?
make the creamy broccoli stuff?"
That sounds really. I'm gonna write that actually.
It's
Can
so
you
easy.
send
Yeah, I'll
to
send
me?
that to you. It's so easy.
Broccoli, cauliflower in a vegetable broth with garlic. I love garlic.
Yeah, as much
Love
garlic as you want. And I make it a strong vegetable broth. So, and then I take enough, and this is where I need to start writing things down. I take enough cashews to make it thicken.
I like it.
Yeah, I should probably write that down, so I have a recipe of it. Yeah,
You got it now.
yeah, but it's so easy and it's so good, and we'll just sit and eat that, and it's really yummy. Or we'll put
Yeah.
the sauce aside. Sometimes, in fact, last week I took it and I made a lasagna out of it. I used the lentil. I think it's lentil lasagna noodles.
Lentil lasagna noodles.
I believe they're lentils. They're some sort of bean.
Okay,
Lasagna
cool.
noodles. And I put this in between with I think I used some silken tofu so it looked like cheese inside of it.
Nice.
Just-
I have a little bit of an idea. Mm-hmm. This is I'm throwing a zinger into this as we're doing this. I'm just thinking. I'm listening to you,
Go ahead.
and I love what you say, and I love what you do, and keep up the good work with the health coaching
Thank
and
you.
the cooking.
Thank
and
you.
no matter what some family members may say,
Yes.
I'm behind you.
Thank
and
you.
you're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
Is there any way that we can do a little tour with Jessica right now? Or is that going to not be possible?
We could. We shoot it on the phone. We can cut it in
Should we-
to the video.
Yeah.
We could do it like that, but I
Should we do-
can't. This isn't portable. I mean, this is portable, but not that portable.
This is portable, but not that portable. All
We
right.
could always
So,
do a cooking
yeah.
class one time, too.
We'll do a cooking class. All right. As you can tell, I'm not very tech savvy, so I'm not sure like what's.
I like how you look at Ming like he can do anything, and he looks back at you like, oh, what?
Well, I have high expectations of Ming. I feel like he's powerful and he can do a lot.
Yes, he's the tech guru.
He can do.
I
He
tell.
can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I can see that. He just came in and set this whole thing up in 2 seconds.
So, what are you going to be eating for the Super Bowl? We don't even know. The Super Bowl's still a month
I'm-
away, but
Yeah, I will. What? One more round of playoffs? Is that right?
yeah, 3 weeks away actually.
Yeah. So I'll probably be having cauliflower bites. Like cauliflower buffalo bites. We'll have at home.
Cauliflower, yeah.
We will probably make. I make a vegan sausage and peppers, but I make this sausage myself. Wheat gluten is something that we use in our house.
yeah. Well, okay, wheat gluten.
Yeah. So I make homemade sausage.
Okay.
So we'll make sausage and peppers and have that, and we'll probably have a chili that I make.
But so the sausage is made out of wheat gluten.
Wheat gluten, Vital wheat gluten. You can buy it in the
Okay.
baking aisle.
So you're okay with the gluten?
I'm okay with gluten unless you are celiac and you're a person who has been eating really poorly. Gluten is a great source of protein.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, and I'm not eating it constantly, but sometimes there's like at Thanksgiving when my kids want the turkey, because
Right.
everybody has turkey, so I make a homemade turkey breast
Yeah, but
so that they have it.
and I think the other thing is like people get nuts about like gluten just to defend the gluten.
I love gluten.
I actually personally don't eat it just because I try to be a little extra safe. But if the majority of your diet is pretty solid, then
Yeah.
a little bit of a little bit of gluten is not gonna like kill you. It's gonna be okay. I think.
Well, a lot of people are phobic of gluten, but they don't realize where it creeps into things too. And it's but they'll eat meat and they'll eat. Some of the heaviest. I mean, you're an exception, but some of the heaviest people I've seen lately
Yeah.
are gluten free because they're eating analogs like breads that are using eggs as the structure.
The heaviest
There's-
people you see are
lately are gluten free.
Are gluten-free.
I saw someone about a month and a half ago,
Huh.
and was like, "I can't have that. That's gluten." I'm like, "Oh," but they were eating eggs and they were eating meat and they were
Really?
eating
Interesting.
milk and they were eating things that put weight on.
Right.
I'm a big proponent of when people talk about don't eat certain things, don't eat pastas, don't eat this. I'm a big believer that it was never the pasta. It was always what was on the pasta.
You know what's amazing? This is what's amazing. It's 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And human beings can't figure out what to eat. You ever think about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And human beings can't figure out what to eat. We have figured out we could put a man on the moon, we could do all these other things, and we have no effing, that wasn't a Kirstein, clue what to eat.
Oh, absolutely not.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
You know, because we've gotten so far away from traditional foods, and everything has to be quick and easy, and people have lost skills, and they want things that come through windows. They don't want to take anything off their stove. It's got to come out of a box.
Laziness.
It's laziness.
It's laziness.
But you know what? Because our focus has been on other things. And we're being trained that why do we need
Food
to put the effort in?
slackers.
Why would we need to put the effort in when the food industry makes it so easy? They put it in a bag, they add sugar, they add salt, they add fat, it tastes delicious. It appeals to every sense that we love. You know, and the ancestral being that's inside of us would go for the salty because it would be mineral rich back in the day. You know,
Correct.
we would go for the fatty because it would sustain us through the winter. So these are all things that set off pleasure receptors. Sugar, too. Come back to this. This is good for you. Those, all those things set off pleasure receptors in our brain. So people, you know, and now the food industry knows that. They package it up. So now we're conserving energy because we don't have to cook. So it appeals to everything across the board.
And the proof is in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
There are many, many examples out there of people who are doing it the right way, that are eating the right way, that are sleeping the right way, that are exercising the right way, and that are not eating fast food and are not using microwaves, and they're, you know, not doing a lot of those things. And if you take a look at them, they look good and they're doing well. And I think, you know, sometimes you just take a look around.
Yeah.
Just take a look around and take a look at the people that are doing it the right way. And it really comes back to, you know, it is hard. I can't push this too much. It is hard. It's supposed to be hard. When I say it's easy to kind of like know what to do, but it is hard to do it because
it's different to apply because it's not what everybody else is doing.
Right. We're the oddballs.
So when you go home and make dinner, you know, and it takes you a little longer than your friend who just ordered something or microwaved something, yeah, you're a little bit different.
You're a superstar in my eyes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot. It does take some prep. Like, you know, I taught a cooking class one time, and I looked out, and there was a ton of the moms from my kids' school. And I asked them, I said, what are you guys all doing here? And they said, you know what, your kids are never sick.
Oh, that's cool. See,
and we want to know what you're doing.
That's got to make you feel great.
Yes. It didn't make my kids feel great because they they were like, why can't we stay home?
That's great. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
what
very
better
powerful.
compliment could you ever have? Let's say that again. I want to hear that again. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Get $1 off a juice if you subscribe to the Whole Truth podcast. Sorry to throw that in there.
So the moms were there, and it was really cool because, like I said, they said that my kids were healthy, and they wanted to know what I did.
There you go. Go see Jessica Jarmer.
Absolutely, JessicaJarmer.com.
JessicaJarmer.com. Plant-based. I'll let you say it.
And can I put a plug in for my podcast also? And you can follow me, too, on The Practical Vegan Mom on iTunes. And you'll just get little snippets of my life and what I feel is important and what I'm ranting about or what I'm praising.
Can I be on your podcast?
I would love it if you were on my podcast.
I want to be a guest on your podcast. I want you to ask me some questions. Put me to task.
I would love to have you on.
Make me do, like, deadlifts or I don't know what the heck. I don't know, whatever.
See, on the Practical Vegan Mom podcast, we put people through the ringer. We ask them lots of questions and make them do tons of exercise.
Don't beat me over the head with bok choy or anything like that.
No, it's good. It's fun. It's getting the word out there. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Book your appointment on JessicaJarmer.com. You can also do Skype appointments. So if you're across the country, we can still work together.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Jessica Jarmer, it's a pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you,
John. It was great.
We will. I'll come to your cooking class and we will talk and touch base. We're in this together.
Yes, we are.
I appreciate your time and your effort. And adios, amigos.
Thank you.